Hello there, world of tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the Tier 9 Collector Heavy Tank, the Regressor. This is a 50 TP. We can obviously tell this just from looking at the vehicle. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at its statistics and everything you're going to need to know about this tank before it is released into the Battle Pass. Now, getting your hands on this vehicle is not going to be easy. As of right now, calculating how you can get kit coins, it seems that you actually won't be able to get this tank unless you spend a lot of money. And when I say a lot, maybe over $100 to $300. Now, we could be wrong on this. We only have early information on the kit coins, and I'm not sure if there's going to be other ways to earn it apart from Wargaming has told us so far, but if that is the case, getting your hands on this vehicle is going to be nearly impossible if you're free to play, and if you have money, it's going to cost you a crap ton of it. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at all the statistics we have to offer for the Regressor. We're going to be taking a look at the armor profile and also comparing the armor and stats to the normal tech tree 50 TP. How does it stack up? Well, let's stay tuned and find out. First of all, we have the vehicle's mobility, and it's great. If we take a look, the vehicle has a top speed of 45 and a reverse of 20. This vehicle is really fast, unlike the tech tree 50 TP, which features a top speed of 35 and has to use gear oil in its provision slots to increase its top speed. This vehicle can run double food and as well fuel. This is actually a blessing in disguise because of the fact that if you're running the tech tree 50 TP, you don't get to run food a lot. You're going to be running obviously one of the improved gear oils, and then because of that you also might be running something else. Maybe you'll run the smaller gear oil. You're still not going to be able to achieve as high as a top speed this vehicle carries. This tank, you can just run double food, increasing your DPM, and run improved fuel, which, yeah, I mean, overall I'd just rather have the provision equipment this vehicle has because it's just an absolute win compared to what the 50 TP uses. Alright, so the mobility wise is great, and it's not just done there. If we take a look at the traverse, 48 degrees a second of traverse speed is absolutely insane. Pair that with the 34 degrees of traverse on the turret, and yeah, you're never going to flank this thing. The fact that this tank actually turns this fast means that if there's anything that's going to try and flank you, it's never going to. And if there's anything that's going to try and, I don't know, shoot you in the lower plate, the fact that you can turn this tank so fast, it's basically going to be like the Type 71 pre-nerf. You're going to be able to turn like this and absolutely wiggle like crazy. So overall, when we take a look at the vehicle so far, it's crazy on mobility. So how about we take a look at the gun? It's got 8 degrees of gun depression and an aiming time of 3.7 seconds. Okay, pretty stock standard so far. 0.362 dispersion, 2300 DPM. All of this is pretty average, I'm not gonna lie. Same for the Alpha, 450. It's 10 less than the tech tree variant, but still basically the same there. If we take a look at the penetration, this is where things get a little bit zesty. The standard pen is 248. Okay, pretty average. Now I should point out that if we take a look at equipment right here, this has gun rammer equipped and not calibrated shells. So you can actually increase the pen on this vehicle if you wanted, which I probably would do. With that, the premium pen is already 320 base. Now, if you don't know, the Tech Tree 50 TP features the same gun as the IS-7, which has 303 millimeters of premium pen. Yeah, this tank features 17 millimeters more premium penetration. That is absolutely massive, and it's definitely going to give this tank a huge edge, especially when fighting tier 10s. If we take a look, this tank also features combat stabilization, which is something that obviously the tech tree doesn't. Now, personally, I actually think combat stabilization is almost a nerf for a couple reasons. First of all, this tank's fast. It reverses at 20, and it goes at a top speed of 45. As of right now, they might change it for this tank, but as of right now, combat stabilization says that if you're going faster than 15 in either direction, it's going to increase your dispersion by 4 times. That means if I'm driving 20 in reverse, my dispersion is going to be 4 times what it normally would be and how fast it blooms. That is massively bad. So if you're ever trying to back out of trouble, you're essentially not going to be able to shoot anything. So that kind of sucks. When it comes to the top speed, this tank is so mobile that I just feel like it's going to hurt this tank to have combat stabilization more than it's going to help it, because you literally have to limit your top speed to get that good accuracy. Now, don't get me wrong, it's still a nice special ability, but as I said, the moment you drive over the ability's way of working, your gun disperses 4 times faster. So yeah, it's got some big downsides. What's really going to be nice about it is the fact that you can turn so dang fast, and as long as you're not moving all that much, it's going to allow you to snap those shells very, very easily. If we take a look at the vehicle compared to the Tech Tree 50 TP, which we can see over here, we'll notice that the DPM is slightly higher. It's nothing crazy, but it is very, very slightly higher. As I said, the premium penetration is way better, so that's an absolute win for the Regressor there. If we take a look at the alpha, basically the same, not much to worry about there. Especially because the alpha's 10 less, you actually have a pretty big increase on your reload, which is going to help you outtrade your opponents. If we take a look at the aiming time, way better on the Regressor, 30% better. So that's huge, but its dispersion is a bit worse, 5%. Personally, I'd much rather take the aiming time than the dispersion, because obviously I could just run Refined Gun, and then I'll have good dispersion and good aiming time, where this vehicle will want to run, obviously, V-stabs, and it doesn't get that combat stabilization ability. So yeah, overall, the Regressor seems like the gun is just flat better so far. If we take a look at mobility, as I said, way faster. Even with running improved gear oil, it's still not going to achieve anywhere near as good of a top speed. The engine power is way better. The effective power to weight is also way better base on the tank. That means if you're running food and fuel, yeah, the Regressor overall is just flat better on that aspect. And we can also see once again the traverse speed absolutely smokes the 50 TP. So overall, the tank is just flat better statistically. It's the armor profile that we're going to break into that really showcases the difference and why it is so much better on at least the base stats. Now I should also point out you have 100 less hit points than the Tech Tree, so that is something to keep in mind. Another thing that I should point out, if we take a look here, we can see the upgrade path you need to get this vehicle fully equipped. Yeah, that's pain. That is absolutely pain. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, so what, 12 total upgrades for the vehicle. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 total gun upgrades. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 total engine upgrades. 1, 2, 3, 4 total track upgrades, and 2, 3, 4. Okay, so everything has 4 upgrades in total. I could have probably mathed that out very quickly, but everything has 4 upgrades, and each of these upgrades require kit coins to get. And here's the real kicker. If you get this tank, guess what? The kit coins that you get, which are the currency for the battle pass, only, to what I'm aware as of now, are only able to be used on this battle pass. So that means if you get the tank up to like this upgrade here, you get the top turret, but you don't get these upgrades, that means that you're not going to have the fully upgraded 50 TP ever. The Regressor is just never going to be fully upgraded unless they bring back the kit coins, because you can't upgrade it. So yeah, that's going to suck. It's really, really, really going to suck in that aspect. So I guess we'll find out what actually ends up happening with the kit coins, but as of now, if you ever plan on getting this tank, you might just have to throw out some money, a lot more money than you'd probably be willing to spend if you want to get this tank fully equipped. But let's finish off by taking a look at the vehicle's armor profile. What we're looking at here is the 50 TP on the Tech Tree. We can see the armor is insane. The upper plate is very solid, 380 millimeters thick when using the 8 degrees of gun depression, and the turret has literally no weak spots anywhere apart from this teeny bit here. You're never going to hit that. Everything else is ridiculously thick. The hatches are basically fully hidden when you're haul down. Overall, the 50 TP is one of the strongest tier 9s, especially when it comes to armor in the game. Yeah, this is where the Regressor falls apart. Oh boy, wow, yeah. You can start to see why the Regressor has so many better stats on paper than the 50 TP, and it's pretty blatantly obvious. Like, yeah, lower plate, awful. 104, it's 220 on the 50 TP. It is 120 less on the Regressor. That is terrible. That means that HE shells are actually going to butter through your vehicle from anything that has HESH, literally anything. Even standard HESH is going to cut right through that, so don't make sure you're putting yourself in front of 50 TPs. We also have the awful turret cheeks, only 170 to 160. Awful. I mean, the armor is just flat out worse on this tank in every single aspect. Even using it haul down, those cheeks are terrible. You can see just how much worse the armor is. This compared to this, I mean, it's almost like you have the stock turret equipped on this vehicle. Now, side armor wise, they're the same. You can see that here. They're basically the same on side armor. So, I mean, it's not going to matter too much. The rear armor, basically the same. So, it's really just the front armor that's a lot worse. But it is way, way worse, and that is going to affect how this tank plays a lot on the battlefield. I mean, this vehicle goes from being quite a competent frontline heavy to now a not so competent frontline heavy once we've actually taken a closer look at the armor profile. Overall, just because of the fact the armor is flat out so much worse than the tech tree, I still have to side with the tech tree. Sure, this vehicle has more mobility, a better gun, way better penetration. Everything's better on this tank. But the armor's just worse, and it's so much worse that you're never going to be able to frontline in the same way that you would be able to with the tech tree. So because of that, honestly, don't feel too bummed out if you don't get your hands on this vehicle. It really isn't all that special. But let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.